Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Prop Wiz. I'm your host, The Wiz. Today, we'll be taking a look at this 3D printed Spawn that I 3D printed quite some time ago, man. It's probably about 2 or 3 years old, but I thought it was a good idea to go ahead and pull them out and just do, I guess, a show and tell. Like, this would be the first kind of this video I'm doing. Usually, when I do my 3D prints, I start from start to finish with what I'm doing. But one, I feel like some of those videos are repetitive. That's not to say I'm not going to be doing them anymore, but again, this was already printed, so I just wanted to show it off, and that was my justification. Was like, man, my process hasn't changed that much. If you look at one of my old videos in terms of how I sand, the primer paint, how I'm painting, doesn't change that much, but again, I will be still doing those, but since this is already printed, I thought we would start from there. And number two, man, y'all, if y'all are watching my videos, I have recently bought a Spawn statue from McFarlane Toys. It ended up costing me a nice little grip, $450 plus shipping, and the statue was tiny as I don't know what, man. So, of course, all my homies, all my geek friends been laughing at it. So I felt the need to represent a little bit. Of course, this isn't going to delete the fact that I bought that little thing, but just letting y'all know I do know what an appropriately sized Spawn should look like. So here we go. Anyways, again, man, I got these files online. I got it from a guy named 3DXM. I bought him off CG Trader, but he does have his own Patreon as well. I got hip to his figures, even because of the Spawn or these kind of figures, dude, but he does a lot of I think they call chibi figures, these little almost like Funko like minifigs, actually, with the big heads and little bodies, man. He does a lot of those that look real cool. So I've got a lot of those, even though I haven't printed any, or I think I printed one, but I messed up. I had just got my resin printer, wasn't good at it, so it didn't come out good. But I need to go back, but I probably won't use resin. In fact, while we're on that subject, most of this bad boy is resin except for the cape. The cape is fully filament because it was so large. I didn't even want to go through the process of trying to 3D print that using the resin, and then the base is also plastic, but everything else is resin. I do say if I was to go back, I probably would print this whole thing using filament, using the plastic, only because this bad boy has proven to be fragile. In fact, when I brought this statue up here, the chain was broken where it just snapped, man. Just resin. I don't know if it's the UV light and not getting everywhere. There's some piece, like he's printed hollow, completely hollow, so also makes it fragile, you know what I mean? But there's times when I've had these kind of resin statues and they break and all this liquid comes out where the liquid didn't drain good enough for whatever reason. So just keeping that in mind. I love resin because resin is easier in terms of sanding, but a figure like this that has a lot of texture on it, I probably could have got away with the FDM filament. Now, the painting of this, man, I did go on my own direction. Again, the 3DXM site had photos of this where the red was a lot brighter. I think the bodysuit had more of a bluish look, or a grayish look, and very similar to the comic book, basically. I decided to go more darker, so my reds, it's got more of a ruby red to it, and I just went straight up black. Almost tapped into a Venom kind of thing, too, because I've got the whites. I airbrushed the edges of the white just slightly with a translucent black, so it seems like it blends in, just gives it a more grimier look. So my painting is way more in-depth, way more weathered than what he showed. Of course, what he had on his site was a 3D rendering or a rendering of a photo or whatever, so it wasn't the actual print, but I did make note that just to make it my own. You know what I'm saying? When you buy a file from somebody, then you kind of want your work is more in the painting than it is printing, because the printing is doing most of the work. So I just wanted to make sure that in the painting that it felt like my work of art, at least where it came to that part. So I think it came out okay. Now, the downside of this, why I would never print this, because I know people, you print this, you selling this. This is something I probably wouldn't print and sell, because again, there's a lot of details. There's a lot of things that broke, just like the chain. I don't even know what happened to the chain. Like I came up here and saw it was snapped. I can see, I don't remember because it's printed a long time ago, but I can see some glue on the leg where it looks like the leg had broke at some point as well, and I had to fix that. And I can tell you right from the jump, this cape is extremely heavy. When I'm picking this up and lifting it, all the weight is here. So that's probably playing a part in this as well. So I probably should have upped the density of the legs. I didn't. Again, some of this stuff you play around with. Some of the stuff you learn and know, and some stuff you got to print and play around with. And, I don't have that kind of research, that kind of testing to sell some of this stuff. Some stuff I can sell because it's easy. There's helmets and stuff that I do that's a no-brainer, but something like this, it's like I would hate to sell or even gift this to somebody and then they walk in and end up being cracked in half laying on the floor. So that's the reality of that, man. Let me know what you guys' techniques, for those of you guys that do 3D printing. I might be the only one that have that problem, but that's just something that's in my consideration. But of course, when you're doing your own printing, it doesn't bother me, because if this thing breaks, I just go print myself another one, or if a piece break off, because I'm familiar with it, I kind of know how to fix it. I'm a little bit more confident at jumping in and messing with this thing. Giving more props to the actual files itself, to the statue itself. The details is awesome. It's slightly stylized just a little bit. It reminds me of some of Greg Capullo's work. It doesn't quite look like McFarlane, even though Greg Capullo is similar to McFarlane, but there's something about this that just looks slightly stylized. He looks a little bit more built. The head just looks more stylized. I thought this was a cool figure, that it didn't look human. It looked more comic bookish, man. So that's the reason why I gravitated towards it. But all the details are on there. His gauntlets, man, his little foot legging things, the pouches, everything about this thing is dope. The way he's looking to the side. He does come with a hellhound or devil dog. I don't know if it was a devil dog or a hellhound, but he did come out with one of those. I decided not to print it because I didn't care. I wanted to spawn. Spawn was what my goal is. But just to let you know, there was more to this files. The files was only $10 or less. And again, it came with more than just a spawn. It came with a whole dog, and the dog had his base as well. So very, very dope figure. But anyways, man, that's my look at this. In terms of the files itself, dude, I'll give the files a top 5 out of 5. The printing, I'm not going to judge my own printing. Like, come on. But I am satisfied with the statue. It does sit in my living room. It's on the shelf. So this is one of my premier pieces, if you will. This is one of the ones that I do show off. I'm not hiding it. I got stuff in my studio that I hide in the dark because it didn't come out as great as I wanted. But this one I am proud of. Again, if I was to reprint it today, there are some things I probably would do different. I probably would make the reds brighter, and I would heighten the density, and I probably would make the whole thing, again, FDM plastic. But overall, I think it's a dope figure, man. But that's my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Yay or nay, is this something you would print, that you would buy? Do you wish McFarlane would make stuff like this? Like that's part of my thought. I made this because McFarlane isn't making these kind of statues. Even if he was doing it in plastic, I think that would be dope. But anyways, let me know what you guys think, again, in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, please take the time to hit the like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. As always, I love you guys to death, and I'll check you out next time. All right, peace.